Hey everyone. So, in regenerative medicine, we're always talking about what we can use to heal the body. These powerful growth factors and healing agents. But what if the real breakthrough isn't about the what at all? What if it's all about the how? Today, we're diving into a new way of thinking about delivery, one that could make therapies last longer, work better, and honestly, change the whole game. I want you to think about it like this. Imagine regenerative power isn't a huge firework, a brilliant, beautiful flash that's gone in an instant. What if instead it was a slow, steady burn, like a campfire that keeps you warm all night? What if we could stretch out that healing window for hours instead of minutes? That's the big idea we're going to unpack today. All right, so where does all this begin? Well, it starts with a concept you're probably familiar with: autologous therapy. It's a really powerful, well-established idea. Basically, you're using your own body's materials, your own blood, for instance, to heal yourself. I mean, it's the ultimate form of personalized medicine, and it's the bedrock for everything we're going to get into. But there's a catch. There's always a catch, right? While these therapies are incredibly powerful, the way we've traditionally done them has a bit of a flaw. They kind of work on an all-at-once basis, which leads to what we can call the immediate release problem. And this slide really gets to the heart of it. Conventional methods, like your standard platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, they act just like that firework we talked about. They flood an area with a massive burst of growth factors, which is great. But that signal, it can burn out really, really fast. The window for that therapy to actually do its job is short, and that's exactly where there's room for a major upgrade. So, how do you solve for that? How do you make that healing signal last? Well, this is where the CellaRich Exosome kit comes into play. It's designed to be a huge step forward, a totally new way of thinking that's built from the ground up to get around the limits of that immediate release model. The whole point of this kit is to create something called platelet-rich BioGel. So what is it? It's a special substance made from the patient's very own blood, but it's super concentrated with all the good stuff: platelets, growth factors, and of course, exosomes, which are kind of like these tiny little messengers that go around telling cells what they need to do. It's a true powerhouse of regenerative signals. And you might think this sounds complicated, but the process itself is actually pretty straightforward. It all starts with a simple blood draw from the patient. That blood then goes through a special double spin process to really concentrate all those key healing components. And boom, the final step is just preparing the biogel, which is then ready to go. It's efficient, and it all comes right from the patient. Okay, now we're getting to the really cool part. This isn't just about making a biogel. It's about what that biogel does once it's in place. This is the extended release advantage, and it's why this could be a total game changer. And this quote right here says it all. Calling something a paradigm shift is a really bold claim, but it perfectly captures just how different this approach is. We're talking about moving away from that old model of a quick, rapid burst of therapy to something much more strategic. So, what's the secret sauce? What's the key that unlocks this big shift? It's a specific innovation they call extended release formation, or XE technology for short. This is the engine that's driving that sustained, long-lasting delivery we've been talking about. So what does this XE tech actually do for you? Well, it delivers some pretty amazing advantages. First, and this is the big one, it gives you that sustained release of exosomes and growth factors over hours, not just a few minutes. It also does a better job of preserving those delicate exosomes and recovering more growth factors in the process. All of this leads to a biogel that's much more stable and, frankly, just easier for clinicians to handle and apply. Each one of these points is a direct answer to a problem with older methods. Okay, so the technology sounds impressive on paper, but what does it actually mean for patients? Let's take a look at the kind of real, science-backed results this kind of approach can deliver. Now, it's really important to mention, as the note says, that these specific results are from a product called Salmonex. But they give us a great window into the potential of this type of preparation. You see things like an increase in procollagen, which is crucial for skin elasticity. You get a reduction in MMP1, an enzyme that literally breaks down our cellular structure. And we even see some amazing antioxidant and UV protective effects. These aren't just theories. They're real, measurable, clinical benefits. So, we've looked at the problem, the tech, and the potential results. What's the bottom line here? If you're a clinician, what's the one thing you really need to take away from all this? Let's just boil it all down. It really is this simple. It's all about making a fundamental shift in thinking. moving away from the quick flash of a therapeutic burst and moving toward a slow, steady, sustained wave of regenerative signals. It's about creating a healing environment that actually lasts. Okay, before we finish up, we have to go through a few essential disclaimers from the source material, just so we're all on the same page. First, remember that CellaRich Exosome is just a preparation kit. It doesn't come preloaded with PRP or exosomes. It helps you prepare them from the patient's own blood. This info is for the US market only. The data we saw is based on using a very specific laser and centrifuge. And of course, as with any procedure, individual patient results can and will vary. And all of this brings us right back to our big question. This move from an instant flash to a sustained release, it's a huge evolution. So, is this the future of autologous therapy? It really feels like we're moving from the power of the flash to the lasting power of the slow, steady burn. Thanks for tuning in.